Hello, everyone. I'm just going to, Angela Chittum, our wonderful Indigenous engagement officer, is on the phone with me right now because she can't access the link, but she's going to give us all a welcome through the phone. I've got her on speaker, so that's a wonderful thing. Do you want to take it away, Angela?
No worries. Good morning, everybody. Welcome you all here today on wherever you are today on this Teams call, and that's on behalf of my ancestors. Pay my respects to my elders, past and present, any other Aboriginal people or Torres Strait Islander people that are present today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. But yeah, so that's it. I wish you all a safe and happy day today and hope you get a lot out of it.
Thanks so much, Angela. That's great. Much appreciated.
No worries.
Okay, see ya.
Coaching, bye.
Okay, Simon.
Thanks, Louisa. Good morning, everybody. Well, it gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone here this morning for day one of our inaugural Fragile Earth Symposium. Here we are back on our screens again. Now, issues of climate change have become central to the practices of so many contemporary artists, just as they've become central to our programming here at Gippsland Art Gallery. As a gallery that has had the natural environment as its overriding theme of the collection policy and exhibition program since its inception in 1965, we are well placed to explore these issues through art. Increasingly, we are looking to build dialogue and discussion around climate change, not just through art, but through visual art's relationship with other art forms, such as dance, literature, moving image and sound, and as well as with other disciplines such as science and ethics. We see the gallery as an increasingly public forum for these cross-disciplinary discussions, and we look forward to seeing where they lead to. Climate change is not an issue affecting only a small part of the population. This is a concern impacting humankind and all life on Earth. Now, it's been said many times before that the time for talk is over and that what we need now is real action. And we are starting to see this action already in our artistic community. And we at the gallery, as a public institution, see that we have a responsibility to give a platform to these artists to enable their work to be seen and for these discourses and actions to continue. I would like to thank all the presenters we will hear from over the next 2 days. Your participation is greatly appreciated. I would also like to thank all the gallery staff who have brought this huge undertaking to fruition, especially our collections curator Louisa Waters and associate curator Melanie Capel. Melanie and Louisa put so much work into this, particularly over the last week as we've had to pivot yet again, not because of a government mandate, but because of the dramatic escalating rise in cases and hospitalisations. Actually, I myself am in isolation with COVID currently, and the very last thing that any of us wanted was to contribute to this public health crisis by putting a whole bunch of people together in a room for 2 days. So we feel it's our responsibility to the health and safety of our staff and visitors, and that comes first. So frustratingly, I know for a lot of us, here we are online yet again. I would like to thank everyone for joining us for this day one of the Fragile Earth Symposium and for your patience with any technical glitches we may experience. We may be fine, but you never know. The most important thing is that we are all here connected, sharing our concerns and experiences and together plotting a pathway forward for change. Thank you, Louisa and Melanie. I'll hand back to you. Enjoy, everybody.
Thanks very much, Simon. That's wonderful. Let's go right up to the top. Hello, everyone. I too would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I'm on today, the Brackalong clan of the Gunai Nation, and pay respect to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all sovereign peoples across the globe. My name is Louisa Waters. I'm the gallery's collections curator, as Simon just said, and my colleague and friend here, Melanie Capel, is our associate curator, and together we curated the exhibition Fragile Earth Extinction. We're delighted to MC this event this weekend. And I wanted to thank everyone for coming with us as we transferred this event to an online program. As we're located in a regional area, we have many vulnerable communities to consider and a healthcare system that is perhaps not as equipped as our metro cousins. And as Simon said, there's no mandate for mask or crowd capacity, which is wonderful because it means you can all still come in and enjoy the exhibition, but it does place the onus on us as individuals and organisations to consider our fellow humans. This week, the gallery has had many staff members isolating, not just Simon, so it's highly unlikely that we wouldn't have been able to facilitate the weekend in person anyway. As we made the decision earlier this week, it got me thinking about Charles Darwin's theory of evolution and his survival of the fittest, which was completely corrupted by Imperial Europe to justify colonisation. But it actually wasn't Darwin's idea that the fittest was those with more might in terms of guns and machinery. His idea of the fittest was actually the most adaptable. I often think about that when I think of the first peoples of Australia and their adaptability to survive through glacial ages and our more recent colonial history. I also think about it in terms of the lyrebird, who has traversed these lands for at least 15 million years, and the more than human ecologies of these lands that tell the stories of millennia. And even though the virus is not our friend, it is perhaps reteaching some of us the lesson of adaptability, a lesson that could prove essential in the coming years of environmental crisis. Gippsland's cherished environmental champion and artist Dawn Stubbs, without whom this exhibition and weekend would not have come to fruition, emailed me last week to say that the symposium couldn't be better timed after the State of the Environment report was released. And she's, of course, correct. In the art world, we often refer to timely response to the present condition. And for years, the artists represented in the Fragile Earth exhibition have been conscientiously and diligently raising awareness of our current environmental crises. I've been reading a bit of the State of the Environment report, and while it's alarming, I encourage everyone to have a look. Donna Haraway tells us in her seminal text, Staying with the Trouble, that we have, in times like this, we have a tendency to oscillate between hope and despair, neither of which, she says, are useful. Instead, we must stay with the trouble. Granted, she wrote this before the global pandemic, before fires swept the continents, before volcanic eruptions in the Pacific, and before the IUCN red lists of threatened species and ecologies. As a result, sometimes I feel personally like it's difficult to occupy spaces other than hope and despair. But when we come together like this, from grassroots through to the halls of academia, and when we cross disciplinary floors, we provide opportunities for fields of knowledge to cross-pollinate. We seed ideas with each other and stimulate collaborative action. And while we've been adapted to change by going online this weekend, we're also deeply aware that the virtual environment can be prohibitive to general banter, the yarning, as Lee Derrick mentioned to me, and the friendships formed during informal moments of repose, as Lee Duxbury noted earlier this week. But Melanie and I will endeavour to facilitate a relaxed personal atmosphere, and while we have all become adept to the online world, please excuse any hiccups along the way because we might be a little bit rusty. We're in deep admiration of the work of everybody presenting this weekend and feel indebted for the contribution that you all make, whether through your creative practice, your research, or your advocacy. And we're really looking forward to the exchange of ideas and knowledge that you'll all bring.